the riverside again. The swallows and swifts are back, and house martins. The delta-winged birds are back. The swallows, let me talk about the swallows. The swallows usually have white chests and like a red bib, black head, and long tails. They have come back from their holidays in South Africa. They've travelled 6,000 miles over the last 3 or 4 months, up from South Africa, up the Horn of Africa and round. I remember as a child, one of the doctors at the hospital in Nigeria had nets that he used to put across his garden, and he would catch these migratory birds in his nets, and he would ring them and then send the information back to the UK. And then if they were caught in the UK, there are people in the UK, they have these nets in their gardens, especially down on the south coast, and they'll catch them, and then they'll identify them and how far they've travelled and where they've travelled from. The barn swallow, which is what we see around us, travels down to South Africa. It travels about 200 miles a day at about 20 miles an hour. You can work out the maths from that. An incredible bird. It catches fly and insects on the wing, and it drinks on the wing as well. If you go to YouTube, I may include a link with this video. You can see these birds drinking water while flying across it. Quite an amazing animal. And then they build their nests often in the eaves of houses, which is why they're called barn swallows. And they have their brood, and then come September, October, they prepare to travel south. There was a thought at one time, a long time ago, when people didn't realize that they traveled and migrated so far. They thought that the birds actually hibernated underwater. And the reason for that was that they would see huge groups of these birds gathering by the sides of rivers and lakes, and then they'd disappear. And some people thought that they had disappeared into the lake for winter, and found out later, well, they probably didn't, but we know now that they travelled the world. What a tiny bird. What a tiny bird to make such a journey. I remember walking up the lane with the cows, bringing them in from the field to milk, and it would put the flies upon the cows, and the swallows would be there and buzzing the cows, looking for the flies to eat. A tiny, incredible little bird. Jesus says, do not worry about your life, what you eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is life more important than food, and the body more important than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. How much more valuable are you than they? And who by worrying can add a single hour to his life? Well, God takes care of these birds in a remarkable way, even on their long journey right across Africa every year. Some of them live to 15, 16 years old. And God can take care of you, and God can take care of me if we put our trust in him. And that's just a simple lesson, isn't it? Trust God for today and for tomorrow. He's a God who is able to care for you. Look, he can care for the birds. He can care for you. Well, from me and my little friend down by the side of the river, enjoying the sunshine today, aren't we? Have a good day. God bless.